Hi, I'm Matt. Welcome to Disney Planning Insights. Through creative content and live shows, we explain the hidden details of the Disney experience so that our clients can execute memorable adventures. Together with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, we have helped hundreds of clients plan, book, and prepare for magical Disney vacations. Let our experience help you avoid common planning mistakes and maximize the enjoyment on your next Disney trip. Welcome to Disney Planning Insights. I'm Matt. I'm the host. We've got a good show. It's Halloween week. I've got my Boo Sheet shirt on. We're going to have some fun tonight. Lots going on around the parks. Last week we took off. Daughter had her fall concert, so definitely gonna hang out with her and check that out and forego a show, which we didn't have a ton of news, but I do want to welcome a few new followers to the channel. So over on the YouTube side, Liz followed us a few days ago. Thank you, Liz, for subscribing to the channel. Always love new subscribers on the YouTube side and on the Twitch side as we build up both of those fan bases. Also, Gaz Coin also subscribed over on the YouTube side. Again, love to see new subscribers every time that I look at the analytics. I love to see that number go up a little bit. And then over on the Twitch side, I don't know where this is going to show. Didn't show anywhere. So let's see if I can put this up. There we go. Dazzling D over on Twitch. Thanks for the follow over there. We're to 20 followers over on Twitch. Definitely the newer venture for us. 513 subscribers over on YouTube, and with that number, we are now a YouTube partner. So I want to thank you guys all for that. Here in the near future, I'm probably going to hold off until the first of the year, but you're going to have the ability for super chats and super stickers and all that kind of stuff, as well as possible memberships. Kind of figuring out what that might look like. And I feel like it's going to kind of roll into like the travel planning aspect of it and that kind of thing as well. So we'll kind of see how that works out and kind of what we can figure out on that side, and then we'll roll it out. And if you guys like what we have to offer, definitely look into that. So, but super excited for that milestone. We got to 500 about a month ago, and just kind of looked at the partner program here over the last week as it was offered. So yeah. Super cool. Well, like I said in the opener, we do have a lot of news, but one of the things I really want to focus and spend some time on tonight is Cake Bake Shop. I think there's a lot of news about Cake Bake Shop down in Orlando at the Boardwalk Resort on Disney property. So it's over in that Epcot Resort area on the Boardwalk. And the first bit of outrage was the prices. And when the pricing came out, yeah, it was a little higher than even I expected. It's expensive pieces of cake. And it was expensive everything when that menu came out. I mean, just overly expensive everything when that menu came out. But I didn't feel like it was like outrageous. Because, like I said, I've been to the two that are here in the Indianapolis area. The lady that has kind of built this franchise opened one in what's our Broad Ripple area, which is kind of like our arts and entertainment district on the north side of the city. And then one in more of an upper class area called Carmel. And both of them really cool locations. Very much interior wise like the location on the boardwalk at Boardwalk Inn or at the Boardwalk Resort at Disney. But what I started to hear was some issues with product quality and that kind of stuff. And I think what I want to address is a little bit on the how is this actually going to work at Disney? Because here in Indiana, they make a certain number of cakes. That's what they have for the day, and when it's done, it's done. At Disney, it's multiplied, and I don't know what their storage system is like, and are they overnight storing? I mean, exactly what are they doing with these elements, especially the cake elements? Because when I think about Cake Bake Shop, it comes down to that. It's like going to Cheesecake Factory and saying, oh, the food was great, didn't really like the cheesecake. You went to the Cheesecake Factory, you gotta like the cheesecake. Cake Bake Shop is known worldwide for its cake. And I saw more than one person that has gone in, they soft opened over the weekend and said the cake taste was had a freezer burn taste to it, which to me is kind of off-putting. Now, could they have pre-made a lot of the cakes and put them in a freezer and then thawed them? I don't know. I don't know how they're handling the volume that a place like Disney may require. So that's going to be interesting to see. And I would have loved to have talked to Gwendolyn or somebody down there to talk about some of these things with that kind of information, knowing kind of the operation up here, what changes when you go to a place like Disney to make it work. Because, you know, you've got Gideon's Bakehouse, the cookie place in Disney Springs. And cookies are a little bit of a different animal because the making and the baking is a little quicker. Cake Bake, I feel like even if you're constantly ovening, you've still got a full menu to figure out as well that you've decided to do for breakfast and for lunch and dinner. So you've got some more moving pieces than Gideon's does. How do you balance all of that in a kitchen and have a fresh product? So, no, if I ever have somebody from Cake Bake, either here local in Indianapolis or the one down in Orlando, definitely reach out to me on email. Excuse me. Email runs at the bottom of the screen. It's that patmdisneytravel@gmail.com. Definitely reach out because I'd love to talk to somebody, whether it be on show, off show, and then I can do like a little summary afterwards, just to kind of get some of that information, because I'd love to hear how you ramp that type of product that takes some care and some time and a little bit of delicateness to make that product the way that you do. So but yeah, but I'm really interested, you know, next time we go down there, are we going to Cake Bake? Yes, we're going to Cake Bake. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that we would go to Cake Bake. I mean, even if it's just to grab a few slices of cake, take back to our room and enjoy a nice dessert. But, you know, I'm interested to see kind of as this keeps going, and maybe as they get some feedback from the soft open, kind of how they change things to make it work a little bit better for that Disney experience. Because, you know, this is replacing something that I felt like a lot of people liked in that ESPN club. So it's gotta be a product that really works there. And I thought it was a really, really good option, but it just needs to figure out how it's gonna work. Because if they're having to pre-make all this stuff and it's sitting in a freezer and it, you know, if everything's not just perfect, are you going to get a subpar product out of there that you're paying $20 plus for a piece of cake? I don't think that lives a long time at Disney. I think you really have to make sure that that product that you are putting out is to the quality of the price that you're putting on it. So yeah. So again, like I said, if you guys are watching, if you get some wind of this and want to reach out, definitely reach out. Let me talk to you about it. Alexis, thanks for following over on Twitch. Glad to have you. Let me know if you have any questions about Disney. I am a travel agent. I talk Disney. I've been talking Disney for the last 5 years. I've been a fan of Disney long before that. So, no, thank you for the follow. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Cake bake to me, I kind of hold it near and dear because it's a local thing. And I really want to see it succeed because I think it can do really well, and I think it could be a very good option when you coming out of Epcot, just like you go to Beaches and Cream and grab your dessert before you go back to the hotel room. I think the cake bake shopping can be the same thing on the other side of the boardwalk. But it can't get the reviews that I'm seeing right now on especially over on Twitter. It's got to get a better word of mouth because word of mouth will absolutely kill it down there if it's not good. So, Shannon chiming in, yeah, can't wait to try the cake myself. Yeah, I'm with you. You know, it looks like they're offering a lot of the same varieties of cake that they're offering up here, but they have a little bit of Disney flair. They look a hair different down there. So, you know, yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. Am I gonna sit down there for a meal there? I don't know. I want to look at the menu first. Maybe a breakfast. I think a breakfast opportunity there would be interesting. I'd love to see them get like bring back like that royal tea or something that they were doing at the Floridian over at Cake Bake. I think that would be an excellent opportunity. But yeah, I just very, very quiche and a cake to go. Yes, definitely. But yeah, I think it has potential. It fills an interesting niche over there. So it just I'm interested to see how it does when it does like a full opening and kind of gets off and running. So there's my little tirade on what's going on with Cake Bake Shop. Again, we still haven't seen like an official opening. There's been a soft opening. I don't know that they're actually open yet. So as soon as that happens, we'll let you know. Let's see here. Got 2 weeks of news. Let's see where we want to start here. I'm gonna actually make this a little bigger because okay, let's start with Disney Cruise Lines. I thought this was really interesting, and I might have touched on it a little bit 2 weeks ago. Would have been the 15th. No, I wouldn't have touched on this the last time we were on anyway. So really cool. Disney released some renderings of the top deck of the Adventure, including Marvel Landing, Toy Story Place, and Wayfinder Bay. This is going to be super cool. Now, the Adventure is this casino ship that they bought from the Chinese government, and they are converting into a Disney boat. It is going to be the one that's based in Singapore. It is going to be the one that has a roller coaster on the top. And yes, you heard me right. The Disney Adventure ship is going to have a jet ski roller coaster on the top deck. No Aqua Mouse. It's going to have a roller coaster. It is also going to have a spinning ride. It looks like a Dumbo style ride. And then it is also going to have a go-kart track, which is crazy to think about. So the Iron Cycle is going to be the roller coaster. It is going to be an 820-foot long coaster suspended 30 feet above the upper decks. Super duper cool there. Then you're also going to get the PIM Quantum Racers. It's going to be PIM Tech modified mini cars along with a toy set inspired track. And then the other thing is going to be the Groot Galaxy Spin, and they are Novacore bass jumper to music of the Disney Cruise Line. So yeah, super cool. Go over to Brooke McDonald's Twitter page. You can check out all of those vehicles. She's got really good shots for all of those. Shows that are coming. There's going to be a Coco inspired show. There's going to be a Moana inspired show. There's also going to be a Baymax inspired show. And then the dining is going to be absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, it's super cool. Again, this is going to be based out of Singapore, ported out of Singapore. So yeah, it's 2025 is when this guy's going to be coming out. Walt Disney Company board names James P. Gorman as chairman effective January 2nd, 2025. Succeeding Mark G. Parker is departing after 9 years of service. Gorman's going to provide updates on the succession planning process and says the board will plan to announce the next Disney CEO in early 2026. There are some front runners for this. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I think I'm jumping on the Iger needs to go boat right now. It just hasn't been the greatest of time with Mr. Iger, and then the whole Chapek thing, and yeah, kind of weird. Disneyland Paris. I'm going to bounce around a lot because I just want to kind of go up my feed here. Disneyland Paris, My Royal Dream Makeover Experience at Disneyland Hotel is now open to all guests. It had been reserved for Disneyland Hotel guests until October 22nd, and now it is open to all Disney guests. No discounts apply, and booking is required through the official app. So My Royal Dream is kind of like their bippity boppity boutique at Disneyland Hotel. Disneyland Hotel's absolutely stunning over at Disneyland Paris. Disneyland, so we do this every year. So end of October, so October 1st is the beginning of the new year for Disney. So their fiscal calendar ends on September 30th. October 1st starts the new fiscal calendar. And every October we get all of the price upgrades, updates for all the parks. And just like everything else in the world, prices for Disney things are going up. Whether it's a meal, whether it's a Coke, whether it's a ticket, whether it's a hotel stay, everything's going up. And on top of that, they're going to add Premier Park Pass. And we had talked about this, that they were test running it in Paris last year. And we knew that that's kind of what was going on, just like the drone show. Well, they rolled it out at Disneyland last week. And the numbers are absolutely staggering when it comes to this Premier Park Pass. So the multi-lane, okay, so we have fast passes. Let's just go back to known Disney vernacular here. We have fast passes. Fast passes used to be the free things that you got when you stayed at a Disney hotel, and you got 3 of them to start your day, and that lets you get into that quicker line to go on a ride, and you got to pick them out, way in advance, and all was good with the world. And then Disney took those away after COVID, and they brought out Lightning Lane. Oh, Lightning Lane. Awesome. Now you can buy the same things that you had for free, and you go in the same line, and yeah, now they're just making money off of it. Now they have the Premier Pass. So they've got individual Lightning Lanes, which are your major rides at each park. Then you have Multi-Pass, which is the ability to continually book individual Lightning Lanes. And now you've got Premier Pass, which gives you access to one Lightning Lane for every ride that offers it in a certain park. And prices go anywhere from like $150 to $400 depending on what park it is and what time of year it is, and all kinds of craziness. So I was kind of doing some digging on numbers. I wanted to see kind of what is the financial impact, because Disney is going to be paying for 2 new ships in this fiscal year. So, and they're billion-dollar ships. So how do they recoup that? Well, they're estimating that just in the Premier Pass, when it rolls out to both parks, $200 to $260 million a year. And basically what they broke it down to was, at each park, there are going to be roughly 2,000 passes available. So it is, what? If we say Magic Kingdom is 70,000 on an average day. I'm pulling a number out right now because I don't have them in front of me. So 70,000 on a normal day. 10% would be 7,000. 1% would be 700. So we're looking a little over or a little under 3% of the park could potentially have the ability to book a lightning lane at every ride that day. How are they figuring that this is going to fix the standby line issue? Because you're still offering multi-pass, you're still offering individual lightning lanes. I don't think it helps anything other than, hey, if you really want to spend $1,600 for your family for a 4 for the day, you can get on every ride once, maybe, if you have time, and the lightning lane isn't completely out of the building like Peter Pan will get. It's an interesting thought process. We'll see how it works out for him. Let's see, what else do we have going on around the parks? Lots of price upgrades. Tickets for Very Merry Christmas Party have gone up. So we talked about this a little bit. Select nights November 8th through December the 20th. $159 per person to $199 per person last year. This year it's $169 to $219 per person, depending on what day you go. Yeah, it's a lot. Everything's just more expensive. Everything's more expensive. Shit, I'm shocked. Yeah, it's the worst secret ever kept. Holiday dining coming to Disneyland Resort. Holiday tea with Santa and Mrs. Claus at Hearthstone Lounge at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa runs December 3rd through December 24th. Classic, premium, and deluxe tea sandwiches, salads, scones, etc. Bookings open on Halloween, here in a couple of days. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade daytime performances for ABC's holiday special will be taping in early November. Shannon and I tend to get out here around this time every other year or so, but this year we've decided not to for a few different reasons. But of course it's going to happen on November 9th and 10th. Which is probably exactly when we would have went out. But they're going to be shifting Festival of Fantasy Parade out, Disney's Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade in, and you get 2 chances to be on ABC with you and your family. It's at 2 p.m. on both days, so don't ask when the 2 p.m. parade is, because it is still at 2 p.m. It's just a different parade. Big Thunder Mountain closing for a year and a half. Okay, we know it's happening. It is closing in January. We know it's a full retrack. We're hoping that we're going to get the same or a similar dynamite LED projection finale that Disneyland has. January 6th, 2025 will be the closing day. So January 5th will be your last day to ride. And reopening time frame of sometime in 2026. But the one of the permits that they just filed has a manually entered end date of March the 13th of 2026. So pending if they're having to do any audio sync or anything like that, we could see Big Thunder Mountain reopen in the spring of 2026. 313 early spring breakers may get a chance to ride the newly retracked Big Thunder Mountain at Magic Kingdom. More than likely, we're going to see it early summer for those summer breakers and have it reopen then. What's really confusing about this is you're going to lose Big Thunder Mountain for a significant amount of time while you're going to have a huge construction project going on with Cars Land and or in conjunction with Villains Land going into the Magic Kingdom. They're supposed to be done in the next 3 years, so they've got to start construction on those at some point. Disney World releases schedule for New Year's Eve for the park hours and the fireworks. So they'll change this like they did last year because they completely screwed the pooch last year when it came to this release. But this year, Magic Kingdom will be open from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Resort guests get your same half hour to jumpstart the fun. It is a long day. It will probably sell out. So just know that, you know, you do have to have a park reservation probably, or have to get there early to get in. As tradition, Fantasy in the Sky fireworks show will be performed at 6:30 p.m. and 11:50 p.m. as guests count down to the new year. Great 360-degree fireworks program. You got to do it once. We did it our second trip with Allie. Allie ended up going back to the hotel because she was tired. It was a long day. That is a really long day. Shannon was going to punch people. It was just one of those days. Shannon was a lot of pregnant with Brayden at the time, and yeah. But awesome to be there for New Year's. And then Epcot is also really cool to be there. It'll be open from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. Resort guests can enter at 8:30. Luminous Symphony of Us is going to be performed at 6:30. And then the Cheers to a New Year, a sparkling celebration. But it's expected to be at 11:54 p.m. As you count down. Hollywood Studios, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Fantasmic will be held at 9:30. And then Animal Kingdom will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. because Animal Kingdom just shuts down early every year or every night, and we still have no clue why they put so much money into the bioluminescence at Pandora. Sci-Fi Drive-In, Dine-In, Theater, really cool restaurant at Hollywood Studios over by Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, at that corner right across from Star Tours. A couple of new food items being added. So let's see. Come on. I hate when people have to do a full rundown of the restaurant. 2 new appetizers, mini corn dogs and wedge salad. 2 new entrees, the beamed up burger and the prime rib sandwich. And yeah, good options for kids. It's a really fun restaurant. Old, like C-roll movies, science fiction movies playing on the screen. In a car, like in a drive-in theater. Lots of fun. Yeah, that's a really cool place. I really like that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Dino Land. We got some new permits for Dino Land, and the Tropical Americas expansion. So the permit that was released today includes detailed site demolition plan outlining which areas of Dinoland USA will be removed to make way for the land's first attractions. Demolition phase 1, focusing on Chester and Hester's Dinorama, which we already knew, closing probably sometime next month. The Triceratops Spin Ride, Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures Gift Shop, the removal of the attractions, first step in preparing for Tropical Americas. And then that new area is going to be for the Encanto themed attraction, which is kind of what we had talked about a couple weeks ago, with kind of that rumor that Chester and Hester's and all that was closing next month. That ride is going to take the most time to build and get up and running, so that's where they had to start. 100% where they had to start. So yeah, so no surprise with anything on this permit. Let's see. While much of Dinorama area will be closing, several Dinoland attractions will remain open, at least for now. Dinosaur, Boneyard, Restaurantosaurus, Dino Bite Snacks, and Trilobites will be available to visitors until later in 2025. Entire Tropical America's land is slated to open in 2027. If you are holding off on a trip right now, and there's a lot of different reasons to be doing that, 2028 is going to be the year to go. I really feel that's going to be one of the first times in a long time that you haven't had any construction in any of the parks. Because we just got done with Epcot, and now we're getting ready to put big holes in Animal Kingdom, in Hollywood Studios, and in Magic Kingdom. Yeah, it's gonna be a mess for the next 3 years. If you're planning to go see Moana 2 comes out Thanksgiving weekend here in the United States. Definitely look at some of your pre-order ticket options, because some of them are getting bundled with a lot of cool merchandise and memorabilia if you want to have that as a part of your ticket. Some offices or some theaters are offering a nacho boat. Some theaters have Funko Pops, popcorn buckets, cups, a wave popcorn bucket, like the scene in the first one where she touches the water type popcorn bucket. So definitely, depending on your theater, check into what they have available on that merch side too, if that's something that you're into, because there is a lot of cool Moana 2 merch that's going to be released with the movie. And that's going to be a huge movie weekend with that releasing and Wicked releasing in the same weekend. So get ready for a full theater, because it's going to be wild with those two movies releasing the same weekend. Let's go over to Disney California Adventure. Disney California Adventure adding even more Spider-Man Stunt-tronic shows to Avengers Campus soon. So there was a rumor going around this past week or so that the flying Spider-Man that goes over kind of the big building in Avengers Campus out in Disneyland was going to be taken down. And they're going to have to probably remove some stuff as they build the two new attractions that are going into Disneyland's Avengers Campus. But they're going to be expanding the number of shows per day of the Stuntronic that does that animatronic that goes across the top of that. So right now there are 6 shows a day, right now there are 9 shows a day. And report from the OC Register, Disney's California Adventure will be adding more opportunities for guests to watch the incredible Stuntronic robot Spider-Man soar through the skies of Avengers Campus starting on November 17th. And it's a really cool thing, because not only do you get that aspect of the show, you also get the ground aspect of the show as well. And if you haven't been out there, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You have to go out there and you have to check it out, because once Spider-Man flies through the sky across the top of Avengers Campus, then he comes down and he does some stuff on the ground too. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So definitely something to check out if you're going over to Disneyland and to Disney's California Adventure over at Disneyland. That looks like it's about all the news. Like I said, that was a lot of news tonight. That was over a half hour worth of news, and then talking about freezer burnt cake. So, I am definitely not staying on tonight to play any Lorcana. So if you were sticking around for that, I am very sorry. But surely, here in the next few weeks, we won't have a ton of news. Next week will probably be a relatively light week when it comes to news, because the following week we're going to have all the talk from after the earnings report call. So if you are a Disney stock holder, you can access that call. They probably have already sent out the email. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'm sure they have. And according to Goldman Sachs, be ready for a pretty positive call, other than there's a couple $1 billion worth of ships that have to be paid for. Once you get past that, I think it's $2.3 billion in ships. It's a pretty strong earnings call for Disney. So definitely stay tuned to check that out, and we'll bring you any news that comes from that. Also, D23 in Brazil is happening early next month. We will have all the news that comes out of that as well. They are talking about some parks and experiences announcements at D23 Brazil. So interested to see what else. We have had some rumors that we have talked about on things that we thought were going to be announced that weren't. We get another chance this year for some other things. That drone show at Animal Kingdom, I think, is a strong possibility still, as long as everything went well with Dreams That Soar. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for watching, listening, everything that you guys do. I will talk to you next week. Bye now. Hey, we didn't have any guests this week, but we did have some new subscribers to the channel on both of sides of our stream. So over on Twitch, Alexis GXTTV and Deslin D. Thank you, Gascoigne and Liz over on YouTube. If you're looking for us on social media, you can find us in a lot of different places. The easiest is going to be over on Facebook at DPI Podcast for the show page, at PATM Disney Travel for the travel site. If you're wanting to get in a conversation with us, best place to do is over on Twitter X at Disney Insights on Twitter. We also have Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, everything like that. you guys all for watching, listening, liking, sharing, everything that you guys do to support the channel. We very much appreciate it, and we will talk to you